What's up, SNA assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin. Two minutes later, after making the Monday Night Raw review video, now making the Monday Night Football review video next. And I was not expecting this was going to be a competitive matchup, and then with the San Francisco 49ers like keeping up with the Detroit Lions, but they end up doing exactly that, what I at least expected. Sometimes, like I said plenty of times before, and I'm probably going to say this one more time, the NFL could be a little bit confusing. But yeah, it was the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Detroit Lions. And yeah, let's say they almost beat them, but at the same time, Detroit, let's just say, yeah, it was like what we expected at the end. But I'm gonna tell you what exactly happened onto that. Judging what I'm wearing right now, but we will be seeing who's going to be getting the number one seed like by Sunday, which I will indeed be making the review video for. Sunday Night Football, like for the last game of the season on Week 18, it will indeed be the San Francisco 49. Not the. I mean the Detroit Lions taking on the what's it called, the Minnesota Vikings in their own field at Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. And winner gets to get the number one seed in the NFC division, but not only that, but also wins the NFC North Championship of 2024 season as well, and also. This is kind of like a rematch from the playoffs, like when the 49ers eliminated the very most dominant Detroit Lions at the time. But it looked like they're about to do that again on the regular season. But fortunately for the Lions, we're just gonna see what ends up happening. But that's where I got Debo Samuels got the ball kicked right to him. That's where he ran until he got to the 38, like a 38-yard return. That's where or 36-yard, given that they were at I guess he was at the 2-yard line. That's where then Brock Purdy then came out there. That's where, yeah, I was like, all right, maybe it'll be a couple of touchdowns, but yeah, he blew my mind and proved me wrong, into that matter. But that's where he got out there as soon as the special teams then got back in the sideline. Is where we got all the receivers, including your girl that's worth $1 million or maybe even 900,000. I'm not sure what am I even saying right now. It was Kettle Chips that was right in the tight end position. Is where we got Brock Purdy didn't snap the ball like 179 hike. Is where he passed it to Samuel, but or that's where you only got like a gain of, I'll say, 3 yards running to the right side. And that's where we got Charlie Hack was the left tackle was blocking him, even though it was the right. That's where we got what's his name? Brock Purdy ends up throwing it to the Chiefs' former wide receiver, Chris Conley, which I was like, why is he still not on the team? And sad thing is, he never got a chance to win any Super Bowl championship when they went to there. But if anything, I think he lost against him back last season at the beginning of 2024. But anyways, where we got what else happened next? Moving on to the next play is where Purdy then snap route. Oh, that at the 45, if I'm mistaken, is where passing me territory. This is where he passes to Samuel again. This is where he probably only got like a gain of 4, making it 2nd and 6. This is where we got. That's where we got Brock Purdy that fake passed it to what's it? Who was it that he fake passed it to? It was it was it was to a wide receiver, but he passed it to Debo Samuel again. That's where he got right into the right side, got the first down, maybe like an extra yard, making it 11 yards. That's where it was like, yeah, they're right at like the 33rd yard line. Is where he passed it to George Kittle, which I wonder whose special someone is which I'm not sure what I'm even saying right now, but whoever he is, I believe he had his wife on the side that was actually on the side onto the stadium, watching in attendance. This is where we got the Kettle chip, then got it first down right at around the, I'll say, the 13-yard line. They got the first down. Is where then is where it was it was what's his name? Pearsall. Like they got like a gain of one. Like yeah, watch. No, he got a gain of one. It was four. This is where doing. Limbo got for a guy trying to get a first down, but I think it was a yard short. Only got a gain of 5. This is where it was Joseph that was there to prevent him from getting the first. This is where it was 3rd and 1, right at the what we're at. I'll say at the 6, yeah. But that's where they try to go. I think it was a throwing play, like or was it a running play? I'm trying to think. Well, I think it was a running play. It was Purdy trying to do a quarterback sneak. That's what it was. And this is where he ends up getting stopped. It was, 4th and 1 now. Like, this is where they were thinking about should they go for a field goal because only just a few yards, or should they just go for it, like, and try to take a chance for a touchdown, which that's exactly what they did. But it was probably worth the risk because he ends up getting it the second time. Like, if it's a finishing maneuver that cannot be done the first time, it will be guaranteed the second time. That was the case right here on this first 4th down conversion. This is where they got in. This is where they were finally right at I'll say the 5-yard line, like for a 1st and goal, like into that side. This is where I was at the 4th yard line, which they got an extra yard. This is where they passed it to the Rainbow. What's that? But it was DJ Reader of the tackle stopped him. Is where you would not believe what just happened, like what the fans' reaction was like when they saw him stopping him, which they gave him the loudest boot that they ever gave him. Anybody just where Jennings was fighting the spot, like but with the corner on the Detroit Lions is where to start fighting. This is where they're about to turn into WWE, which I was like, why are like. This is why I was like, don't they realize Monday Night Raw is on the other channel and not on ESPN and ABC? But this is where he pushed down the corner. This is where they pushed Jennings. This is where it was Joseph. This is where they got penalized. This is where I was like, how come that Joseph guy on Detroit did not get suspended? I'm sorry because he had no reason to shove in Jennings like that, even though they are the losing team. But that doesn't mean you have to rub it in their faces. That's where then it then it was like there's both fouls on each side on like 2 fouls on one side on the on the other, like, and it's where they're like the down count to 2nd down, like those penalties are offset. But he got pushed back right under the line before he even caught the ball. This is where then it was 3rd and off, like managed to catch the ball. The next play is where to the receiver to the left, Williams, like for a gain of 3, making it 2nd and 7. Yeah, if it's something like that. But that's where we got This is where we got Jared Goff then try to go for a snap. This is where we got Williams then they go for emotion. This is where Gibbs then try to go for a run. But this is where he roughly only got a gain. I'll say about 5. Yeah, it was 3rd and 2. This is where we got This is where Jared Goff then passed it to Gibbs yet again, which got 1st down and maybe even more, which was a gain of 6, which they got an extra 4 yards. This is where it was it was right at the I'll say the 48-yard line. Yeah, it's where they snapped the ball. This is where we got the tight end. Like in motion is where he passed it to Gibbs yet again. He ends up running again and was about to enter right back to San Francisco, which he ran like how many? It was a 21-yard carry, like just like 2-for-1 deal, I guess you could say. Yeah, 2-for-1 1st down deal. Like I got 2 first downs in one play. That's where they got the 1st down right past enemy territory, right at exactly at San Francisco's 30-yard line. That's where we got Jared Goff. Then it goes for a snap again. Passed it to fake passed it actually to what's his name to fake pass it to Gibbs. This is where he didn't throw to his receiver. It was Jamison Williams that they were like about to throw the ball, which he should have done. But this is where San Francisco stopped him from even doing it by running him over like a Mack truck. This is where he lost yardage right here on the play. This is where the it was a loss of 5. That's where he tried to pass it to by Rattles. By the catch is where he made it until he made it at the 10-yard line for a first down. Probably like a gain of how many yards? Like exactly 20 yards, I guess you could say. Yeah, 25 to be the exact, because given that they lost 5 yards. But there's a flag on the play, however. This is where then. But it's where they were wondering, like, it was on San Francisco on like number 0, illegal contact, like which was a declinable penalty because they got a 25, or actually it was a 26-yard catch technically, because I believe they were right at the. I think they were right at the 9, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they were like at the 9-yard line technically. So it was actually a 26-yard run. This is where the. That's where we got Jared Goff got the snap. Like he was like 177. I said 178, 189. Hiking is where they passed it to Gibbs. This is where he made it like until he got to the 1, like getting the gain of I'll say 8 yards. Yeah. This is where he was trying to lay right back, but he ends up getting stopped and prevented by the Sanford defense. This is where then this shoulder hit him right to the ground. That's where they try to go on second down and start the second play. But that's where he gets stopped by yet again by Fred Warner, the linebacker on the San Francisco 49ers. This is where that's where they lost 2 yards, which they're at the 3 now. That's where we got Jared Goff then had everybody spread out into like in a variety of positions, like if he was going for a Super Bowl play. This is where he did a what's his name? Jameis Williams got the ball, like it was in motion. He got the ball from Jared Goff, like with him just passing when Stanford was least expected. It's where he marched right into the left side for a touchdown, tying the game 7-all. And it's where he started doing his little arm dance like this, which he has some moves. I gotta admit, I gotta learn them from the receiver. Well, wait, I don't think it was 7-all. I must have been mistaken because it got blocked by San Francisco. That's where it was. That's where Warner, the linebackers, blocked the extra point, which it made it 7-6, which San Francisco was still alive in the lead, like for just 1 point. But let's move on to the next slide. Let's talk about that. Was it San Fran? It was the Detroit that kicked it to San Francisco. This is where we got. Let's see. This is where we got. This is where we got a holding penalty on the defense, like when Muhammad, like the linebacker, I believe, like was trying to stop George Kettle Chips from being an intended receiver that Brock Purdy could throw it to, but he ended up not throwing it to him. Even if I believe he probably wouldn't have thrown it to him, even if he was open. Like when they were doing their first play in the 30-yard line, where it was like 218. I said like Brock Purdy, and this is where then he goes for a throw. But that's where he ends up running, but he ends up getting smashed by 2 defenses, like going for a zigzag sandwich, I guess you could say. One goes into the bottom left side, while the other's in the upper right, like going side to side, going up and down, like doing making the zigzag sandwich, which that's the first time I ever to hear that in my life. But there was a holding penalty on the defense on the Detroit. That's where we got. That's where we got Kettle Chips was in position and to emotion, like to make it a distraction because he could pass it to him at any given moment. But they used him as a decoy on this play by passing it to that's where what's his name? The running back Jack Campbell of the linebacker stopped him. It was to running back, what's his name? it was this is where he this is where he only got a gain of one. We passed him, but this is where Campbell, the linebacker on Detroit, stopped him. This is where we got Brock Purdy to throw it to Du- Durimbo or what is Durimbo? Yeah, that's where he only got a gain of I'll say. But this is where it was third and four after this is where but that's where they put out the other running back. This is where it was third and four at at the 40 was it like the 41-yard line is where then he tried to go for this is where we got Brock Purdy throws it to uh what's his name? It was what's his name? The wide receiver Pearsall, that's what his name is. Pearsall like was in the left side, is where he almost landed out of bounds, but luckily he caught the ball with one hand, and then he secured it right in bounds and went out of bounds. Which I did not know how he did it. Like when Brock Purdy was in under pressure, this where Dirt this where Durbo gets another first down with a run, like with a gain of 10 or maybe 11, like it's where, but it's where we saw them right at the 19-yard line. Is where he tried to throw it to Jennings, which he almost got a touchdown, but he got very impressive coverage by Mr. Joseph. Yeah, which I don't know how this corner is such a tough one right here. But it's where there was a flag on the play. However, that's where it was on one of the defender men because it was an approachment penalty. With there was a 5-yard penalty of a replay first down, which they said please reset the clock at 6 seconds. From this, the setback. This where then they just let the timer run out until it went to zero. This was the end of the first quarter of which at the end of the game, like San Francisco was leading 7-6, like with them leading by a point because they blocked the extra point from Detroit. But yeah, this were after they got done with the advert break, like when they uh when they took a little break from the end of the first quarter, where then they here's where we got San Francisco man to make another touchdown. Like when they got done, like when they're at the beginning of the first quarter, the first play of the third, where Brock Purdy throwing it to the fullback with the long last name. It was Kyle kind of Kyle Juice 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 Sig Juice 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 the Zyke Zuzak Zuzak, yeah, just Zuzak. Yeah, Kyle's a Juice Zuzak. That's what his name is, I believe. This is where they showed him that he ran right in there. Just where then, but this is where then they got 14-6 now, like with them leading by a touchdown and plus a 2-point conversion kind of situation. It would have been just a touchdown if it wasn't for the block for the field goal from San Francisco's defense, which they did a pretty impressive job, I gotta admit. But let's move on to the next. Let's move on to the next slide, like where we're going to be talking about is where we got this is where San Francisco kicked it right back to Detroit. He was Detroit to come back and try to score another touchdown. Is where This was the flag on the play, which I understand what was the on, but this was the referee explained of an illegal formation from the receiving team, which I'm not sure what was illegal from the Detroit Lions that they were doing that they were not supposed to. This is where we got Jared Goff, however, did not let this be a bother. Like we didn't lose it, like losing like a game, losing 10 yards. Like this is where he passed it to Gibbs. This is where he got like a gain of 1, and then on the next play he got like a gain of, I'll say, like 6, maybe 5, like 5 yards is where then we got, yeah, it was 3rd and 4. This is where then he tried to throw it to the uh, Laporta. That's what it is. The top tight end, number 87, the common number to use as a tight end in the NFL. And that's where he throws it right up into him. Catch the ball for a first down is where they landed right at the like the 41-yard line, if I'm not mistaken, is where, not 41, the 39-yard line, actually. Why am I even talking? I'm thinking that's the complete opposite, but it's where he passed it to, what is it, the Gibbs again? That's where he all got to get. But Malik Collins made the tackle on San Francisco. This is where it was gained 7. Yeah, 2nd and 3 on the next drive. This is where we got, what's his name? Jared Goff then passed it to the what's his name to what's his name? It was a carry of 16 yards. That's what it was. Yeah, that got the play. This is where it did it was a gain of 16 yards from Gibbs. This is where they were right at passing me territory, like on to exactly San Francisco's 40-yard line. Is where we got Jared Goff was focused, like going for a snap. Is where he tried to go for a throw to somebody, but he couldn't find nobody until the portal was open. Like with Goff nearly under pressure. He tossed it right onto Laporta, but there was a flag on the play. Threw a yellow flag, like to let him know that there was something not right, not part of the rule, that was against the rule. There was a holding penalty, which Detroit got against them. Like if they were the NFC North version of the Kansas City Chiefs, like they used to be, like before they became Super Bowl back-to-back champs. And this is where we got Jared Goff then snapped the ball yet again, even though they lost about five yards. They were right in the middle at the 50-yard, but he ends up getting sacked, making him lose about probably 4 yards. Next, thanks to Nick Bosa, I guess the second boyfriend of the $1 million worth female wrestler, that's probably actually worth $900,000. She got a lie that she had an extra $100,000 for her man Kettle Chips, but I guess she shared some of that with Boza as well. Hopefully, I don't get canceled for that. But anyways, that's where he was there. Like he was like. The rest of the other defense is where we got Boza to start bending his back forward and back. That was so painful. Just where they took a little bit of a break. I think there was a timeout was called. I wonder who it was. I'm trying to think who it could possibly be. It was Oh no, I don't think it was. I think it was an injury timeout, which I'm wondering who it was. I totally forgot. Like, but whoever it was, I wish him a speedy recovery on that. By the way, but it's where we got Jared Goff was yeah, like it doesn't matter if we're 2nd and 24. Like I don't care if we were if we're 200, like if we're 2nd and 234, if that's even the number to be pushed back at. This is where it's like we're still going to make it in the end zone. This is where Jared Goff had that mind. Like if he's his own version of Brett Favre, he tried to find somebody, but he ends up finding Gibbs right to the right. But he ends up only got a gain of, I'll say, 12 yards, yeah, because it was 24. But it was. I know. I remember. Obviously, I mentioned it was Nick Bosa, and yeah, and I want to wish him a speedy recovery. Look, even though I kind of make fun of him and George Kettle Chips about him having some kind of relation, so for a touchdown, yeah, Jameis Williams, finally got. Here's where he made the 2nd straight touchdown. And I was like, man, I wish I should have been on this guy to get 2 touchdowns. I would have some good old. change. It may not be worth what $1 million Baylor is probably worth, what some of Kettle Chips will say. Well, I think somebody else is better than what Bailey's worth, which I'm not going to get into right now and besides, this is the football video, not a wrestling video, so enough jokes on the side for now. So but that's where they Detroit Lions end up trying to go for a kick, which it was good and it was really impressive. Which it was 13 and 14, which I understand why the Jared Goff did not go for two. Well, let's just say he does like later on, which I was about to say, why did I go for two? He is saving it, but we're gonna wait until because this is just the beginning of a scoring nonstop in this way. But if I was the Detroit Lions, I would have made a 2-point conversion. Then they just keeping up, just going for touchdowns after touchdowns after touchdowns. And if there was any field goals that were involved, they weren't happening until the second half. But anyways, this is where we got Detroit kicking it right back to San Francisco, saying we're still we may be behind, but we're still right on your tail. And literally, they were just where we got what's his name? Brock Purdy threw it to who was it? It was on the left side. It was who was it? Was it Debo Samuels or Jennings? It was one of them two. You look in the left side. It was I think it was with Jennings that got a good 9-yard play. Brock Purdy went and move on into the next play. This is where he ends up passing it to It was Dorimbo. It was Dorimbo that got a first down and even more, got some extra yardage. Just where then on the next play, first down right at the 48-yard line is where we got who was it? Dorimbo to try to go for a run, but I don't think he even went anywhere. I think only barely a yard. They only got exactly at the 48. Yeah, that's where the first down at the 47, but they got to the 48. This is where we got who it was with. That's where Pearsoff then ran it for a couple yards, but he ended up getting hit right in the face to face by the corner onto the Detroit Lions. This is where you only got a gain of 2, making it 3rd and 7. This is where we got Brock Purdy we made it into third down conversions before. As a matter of fact, we surpassed 4th down conversions before, so this is not going to be an issue. That's where Purdy's in case if this doesn't work, I get first down. I would go to the next time. That's where Pearsoff, he was wide out, open right to the right side for a first down when he launched it right him with a half a Mary, or if not a quarter of a Mary for a first down. When did Brock Purdy got a gain of after he threw it right onto Pearsoff, it was a gain of 40 yards exactly, 40 yards exactly to Ricky Pearsoff. That's where they're right exactly at the 9-yard line, right after he threw it to him, right at the right at the I'll say the 50, not 50. What I'm talking about what was that the 40? Yeah. They were right exactly at the 49-yard line, past enemy territory, if I'm not mistaken, of the Detroit 49. This is where they were at now at the Detroit's 9-yard line. Is where this is where we got what's his name what's his name Durbo didn't try to go for a run, but this is where or Durambo, whoever his name is pronounced. But yeah, this is where he runs it for a good yard, maybe at the 8-yard line. Is where they put out what's his name, Debo Samuels, to give Durambo a break. This is where then he tried to throw it to somebody in the end zone. This is where he ends up running it in. This is where he's I don't see nobody open yet. This is where he's I might as well just run it in. This is where Brock Purdy got a touchdown. I'm how did Purdy do this? And how does he couldn't think of plays like this at the Super Bowl either, which I'm not concerned about him. I'm just saying, if you're really that good team, we've got much of a good team, you have been thinking about this in the first place. But yeah, it's just that I believe he tried to do stuff like that, but the Chiefs were just too better than what they were. With all due respect, I say that with plenty of respect, like for saying that. But yeah, this is where they start. This is where they start waddling and running. Like, yeah, my guy running in, coach. And this is where Kyle Shanahan was very happy for him to do that because he think of something in providing like something that's going to be best for the 49ers, then it helped them to get an extra touchdown and their touchdown ahead, making this quarter 21-13. But this is where as soon as they got the touchdown, they kicked it right back to Detroit. And yeah, what's the name's not going to be taking like turnovers as a not an answer, or punting as an option or an answer. Even if they're at their lowest of the lows, is where like it was the case right here when they were at their low. Like when Grass Meadow, I believe Glass Meadow, that stops Gibbs from running any yards. Actually lost about 2 yards with the defensive end, pushes him, pulls him back. This is where when Jared Goff went for second down, second and 12, he ends up throwing it to Gibbs for a first down at the 45. And he got a gain of a 19-yard line. He got not yard line. I mean, 19-yard reception, almost a 2-for-1 deal of a first down, like 2-for-1 and one play, I guess you could say. And yeah, that rhymes, so that's definitely true. That's what I thought past the Gibbs, but that's where we got Mustafa, yeah, thought it was a turnover or a fumble, so he thought he gonna run in the end zone, but it was a forward pass, so this was incomplete at 2nd and 10. This is where Jared Goff was like, all right, like I see what I did wrong with the mistake. Like this was like, I'm gonna do it this way. This is where he probably did, like with them him pretending that he's not actually gonna give it to Gibbs, like with a fake pass. Is where he ends up throwing to him where everybody at least expected, but the defense of San Francisco still like tackled him down before he could even cross the line of scrimmage, like making like it through 3rd and 3 with only a gain of 7. This is where we got. That's where he threw it to St. Brown in the right side for a first down, like just exactly what they needed of the 3 yards. That's where then they move on to the next play. This is where it was. Who was it that got the ball next? It was Jared Goff. When he got the ball, this is where he ended up passing it to Reynolds. This is where he only got a gain of 8. Craig Reynolds, the running back, which I think. He's a rookie because I never heard about this quarterback before. But he got a gain of 8, which was pretty impressive for a running back like him in the second string. This is where we got. But I believe this Reynolds guy also got a first down, like which was like, yeah, which you got 2 yards, you got the 2 yards they needed and more, maybe like a gain of 3 or 4, making it 5 or 6. Is where we got. That's where he passed to St. Brown yet again. Is where he got a first down and passed like an extra few yards, like what they needed at least. Is where like they were right at. But this is where it was the 2-minute warning. Next is where it was, and this is where it was. Yeah, they showed it was 13-21. But this is where the powerful force and all of professional football came on, and that was the commercial break, and that was then once the advert came off, is where we got the game back on, which we got Detroit was right at the 15-yard line, getting ready to score before the break. This is where they passed to Gibbs, but this is where Winters then came in and stopped him, went head-to-head onto him. This is where he did fake pass to Gibbs. He passed the Alabama St. Brown, to get the first down, but unfortunately, he only could get 5 yards, making it a 3rd and 5. Yeah, 3rd and 5. This is where we got a partial powerful force came on, which was the picture for the next 60 seconds. This is where we got Jared Goff to try to pass it to, who was it next? That was at 3rd and 5, which he only got like a gain of 3. It was to Gibbs again. This is where you only got, like I said, only 3 yards, making it 4th and 2. Oh, no, 4th and 3. It was 2 yards, actually. This is where They end up going for it, which it was probably worth the risk because they're exactly 3 yards like from a first down and probably like how many yards away from a touchdown? Like because they're exactly right in the end zone. Like how could you pass that up when you're a touchdown behind? They were like probably about maybe like 9 yards away from the end zone and like 3 yards from a first down. Like what option? What they're going to choose? They're going to sell for a field goal and hope for the best on the second half, or they're gonna take the risk and make it worth something and make it count like for one good shot like at fourth down and tie the game. This is where Jared Goff ends up doing that option, smart move, and this is where he got the ball. He ends up and that's where he ends up finding somebody, but unfortunately he ends up getting stopped. But which he was trying to throw it to a Laporta, but this is where he gets stopped by 3 dudes. Like that was in the San Francisco's side, and I don't know how they stopped him. But still, like even if for them not getting the touchdown and this drive, like they still made the right decision because they had, maybe it could be too risky to the point you might lose something, but at least it was worth the shot. Like, and you know that it was a lose-lose situation, anyways. But it's the 49ers ball after this drive, just where they started right at the what yard line they were at. It was the but that's where they showed this is where they showed like when San Francisco took on the Detroit Lions, San Francisco took them on in the NFC Championship, like back in last season in 2023 season, going on 2024. That's where they showed him like we're going fourth and goal. Not fourth to go, fourth down. Like, and he always keep failing every time when there's the fourth down conversion. Like when it comes to them, trying to lead the team to Super Bowl victory. But it seems like it's the other way around this season because they have a chance to lead the Detroit Lions to the Super Bowl. All they need is like a number one team. I mean, even if they don't get it and they get like the fifth place spot, like they probably still have a chance as well. But that's where we got Brock Purdy, fake pass to his running back. What's his name? Durabo, and this is where he nearly got sacked in the end zone, which that probably would have helped Detroit get 2 points. But this is where he ends up throwing the way to the right side. 2nd and 10 is where they were at, by the way. They were at the 9-yard line. This is where we got Purdy to try to go for it again. He tried to go to the right side. Is where he ends up finding somebody. It was Durabo, yeah. Durabo, yeah. That he got it right. And that's where the fans were cheering for the 49ers for doing this play. This where then they try to go for another one. This where they took. That's where this is where they tried to do the Garindo Durabo again. This is where Garindo Durabo didn't win that much. They only got a gain of 8. Like when he got the next reception, this is where he told it to the Pearsall. This is where he got a nice first down. Like he got the extra 2 yards and more. Like, but this is where they got 28 yards left. This is where 28 points, not yards. Seconds left, not points either. But this is where this is where I believe they called a timeout. This is where they did the group huddle. What's going to be on the next play. This is where we got Deebo Samuels was in motion. This is where then he goes first snap, throws it to Jennings. This is where he gets the first down. This is where I think Jennings stepped out of bounds, if I'm mistaken. Or maybe drop the ball. I think he dropped the ball, making it an incomplete pass, because they said he didn't have a full possession, making it 3rd and 2, which that was full of rubbish, which that didn't make no sense because he stepped down when he caught the ball. Even if it punched right out, then that should have been a fumble that went out of bounds. But I'm not trying to take the side of the San Francisco 49ers. I'm not sure if I should even take the side of Detroit because that's a team that looks threatening right now compared to the Chiefs. But anyways, where we got This is where Purdy throws it to Kittle right into the left side. He's going running like until he got all the way to the 6-yard line. That's where he was inside the 10. This is where there's a flag on the play, however. This is where Purdy was like, yeah, perfect. Completion completed. And yeah, even though it was completed, but this is where it was against the 49er. This is where there was 11 seconds remaining, before they can even get a chance to score anything. That's where it was on number 19 on the it was a pass like Purdy then throw right back to Kittle, but he only got like probably a gain of 7. Yeah. This where speaking of 7, this where it was 7 seconds left on the clock. They try to risk it to go getting the field goal, making this 21 to 13. Like or 20, not 21, 24 to 13. Before the halftime was about to be on, but you will not believe what happened. It went way to the right. Looked like it was about to go to the left, but it went right to the right. It was no good. This is where then they got no points. That's where it ended up. This is where 5 seconds left, but this is where we got Detroit to kneel the ball. They're like, we're gonna get the ball anyway. They're gonna kick to us, and this time we're not gonna mess anything up. We're gonna once we get a touchdown, we're gonna be going for 2 and tying the game. And be a little bit of a spoiler. Let's just say that's when it's gonna happen. But yeah, this is where they went back into their locker room. This is where we got the powerful force and all of sports and entertainment came on the commercial break. But that's where we got the All-State halftime game report, I guess you could say, from the commentators.